Hello everybody. Today we are going to talk about scripting. What is scripting? Well, since this is a playlist about how to manifest, of course it is another method you can use in order to manifest. This technique is especially good for people who like to write. So if you've always been journaling, for example, if you are a writer, if you enjoy writing, then this might be your right technique. What you do is that you come up with either a situation that you want to experience in the future, or also it can be connected to revision. I do have a video on the revision technique where we're talking about how to change memories from your past, and you can do that with writing as well. But since we're talking about manifesting, and by the way, revision is one important key factor of manifesting, because if we have limiting beliefs, then of course we cannot manifest something else. We have to find that limiting belief and override it. A revision technique could be very helpful if that is an issue for you. But we are going to talk about to achieve something, manifest something for your future that you would like to achieve or have or manifest. So scripting can be very similar to visualization, but what you do instead is you can either create a scene that would imply that you already are with your specific person, for example, or you have your dream job, you live in your dream house, you have the financial abundance you would like to experience, you have a certain object like your dream car, whatever it is, and you create a scene that implies you already have it, it's already yours, and then you write it down. And you must write it down, this is important, either in past tense, but not if it would be like something you still want to have. You don't want to write, oh yeah, I had a car, or I used to have money, but you could write something in past tense like, yeah, I remember when my person and I went on this amazing vacation, because that is something where there is a time limit. You probably won't stay on a vacation for the rest of your life, but you would like to have that relationship for a while. So in this case, if you want to keep something for a while, then you do write it in present tense, and most definitely not in future tense, like I want to have it, I will have it, I long to have it, because that also implies that you don't have it yet. But we need to get in the state of wish fulfilled, as Neville Goddard said. I'm sorry if you hear my cat scratching on his tree. Anyway, you have to get into the state of the wish fulfilled. That means you try to imagine or get into the feeling of it is already yours, whatever you want to have or experience. So you crafted your short scene, and it can be a very short scene that if you read it, it wouldn't be longer than a minute or so. And then once you have your scene, you read your text every day. And best would be at least twice a day, in the morning and in the afternoon. And since it's just a really short text, you repeat it a couple of times. If you are good in visualization, then of course you can visualize what you're talking about. If not, you just repeat it like you already have it. So you of course would say, it is my dream car and I am with my specific person right now. And you do it like it is already happening, or again, like something that is just a short period of time, like a vacation or a specific event you want to experience. Then you don't have to write like I am at this event right now, but you can write it like you would write it into your diary. It already happened. So you have your little paper and you repeat it and read it constantly, because only with repetition you can get something into your subconscious mind, and this is where we want to have it. What you could also do is that you take your paper and you record it somehow, and then you loop it and you listen to it multiple times. And if you do that, it would be best to listen to it first in the morning while you're still in bed and you're in the in-between phase, or when you're falling asleep, or you can loop it and listen through it throughout the night. If you want to change or manifest something that you are, like, I don't know, I am beautiful, you want to work on your self-concept, then of course you could also write a scene that would imply already being that, but then again you don't want to use past tense because you still want to be that, right? And you don't want to use any future tense at all. We never want to use future tense when we manifest, because the future can never be now. You can create a scene. Let's say you want to change something about yourself. Let's say you're nervous when you talk in front of people, and that is what you want to change. You want to have more self-esteem when it comes to talking to people. Then you could either create a scene in which you would do whatever you want to do, or let's say if you would like to lose weight, then you would craft a scene that could be like you are wearing your dream dress or your dream suit or whatever you want to wear, like a specific clothes you wear, or you look into the mirror and you see yourself as already being what you want. That could be like something you script, you script like, oh, I just looked into the mirror and I love what I'm seeing. Or you are on that stage and you talk to people, or it could be like in class if you still go to university, or you're still in school and you want to be more confident, or at work when you have to give some kind of speeches. And then you either create a scene in which you do that and it feels good, you are very comfortable doing it. The thing is, when you do that for your subconscious mind, it will be real. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. I was so scared to start this YouTube channel. I was really, really scared. I have had so many people tell you, and it wasn't strangers, it was like people, guys I liked, or family members, that said stuff like, if I would look like you, I would never leave the house, or you're not pretty, or you don't get jobs because you're not pretty enough, and stuff like that. Heard it throughout my entire life. Or, yeah, I like you, but you're not pretty enough, so that I don't want to date you. So it was things like this, which of course tells you about my old self-concept, right? So the idea of being out there and recording myself, I was so scared. Last year, I participated in a challenge with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, and it was like an online challenge. We were supposed to go live in the Facebook group, and I actually cried before I went there. I was so scared of like showing myself publicly. Some childhood drama connected to that as well, of course. What I did in order to prepare myself for this YouTube channel is I visualized myself stepping to in front of the camera and do it over and over and over again. And if you see my first videos, you can see that I'm really nervous, obviously. But after a while, and also because I just had so much to say to you guys out there, that in my mind I went over things I want to talk about again and again and again. So for my subconscious mind, I already had recorded plenty of videos before I actually recorded my first one, because I was just imagining doing that. Actually, I didn't do it to prepare myself. It was more like, oh, I need to talk about this and that and that and that. And then when I actually went on recording it, it wasn't that hard anymore, because for my subconscious mind, yeah, it was real. Like I already had done it so many times. So when I actually did it, I was kind of accustomed to do it. Again, the first times there was still nervousness, and this is why I'm wearing makeup right now. Privately, I don't wear makeup, but when I am excited to talk about something, my cheeks are going like really red. So you see that in my very first videos, when I didn't put on any makeup and I had bright red cheeks when I'm excited to talk about something I am passionate about. But yeah, it is this kind of constant repetition that would tell your subconscious you already have it, or you already are that. And once it is a belief in your subconscious mind, then it will get pushed out, because you change your self-concept. And once you have changed your self-concept, and your self-concept could also be like, yeah, I'm not single, I'm with the person I love, or I am the owner of that car that I really like, or I am the owner of that house that I actually love. Whatever it is, you just get into the state of already having it. And if you're not that good in visualization, yeah, you script it, you write it down and read it constantly. If you're not that creative and you can't really come up with scenes, you can write affirmations as well. Affirmations or affirmations with O. I have videos on those, please check those out. And then you write that. I am the owner of my car. I really don't really know cars. So if you'd ask me what kind of car would you like, I would say a purple one. I like purple. I have no idea. I like Jeep looking, like Jeep, like a purple Jeep probably. But I don't really know cars. I don't even have a driver's license. So I'm not good at, maybe like, I don't know, what's fancy, a Porsche, I would like to have a Porsche, and then you write down, I have the Porsche, and then whatever model it is, I wouldn't know. Or I am so grateful that I live in that house, if you already know what house you want, in this street. Or if you don't know what house exactly, you just have an image of a house. I am so glad that I found this house that cost me this much, and it's this big and has amazing neighbors and amazing infrastructure, garden, everything is like I want to have it. And you just script what would you like to have. But here again, you don't write I would like to have, because then you are in the mentality of not having it, and then the universe will keep it away so that you can always keep on wanting it, because you order wanting something and not having something. So the way you formulate is always like, I have this, I am so grateful that I have this. And then you just write down sentences. You know, you can write, if you can't really imagine writing down, oh, I have my dream body and it feels XYZ, then I do have my dream body. I'm so glad that my body looks like, and then you just describe it, and then you constantly repeat this, because everything is energy. Every cell of our body is made of energy. And the thing is, a few years back, Spirit had this download, like when we have an atom, we do have like this thing in the middle, I don't know the English word, and then we have like protons and neutrons swirling around it, but the rest is space. What is that space? Energy. And I realized, oh my God, that is what God is, whatever you want to call God, spirit, energy. We are just made of energy, and that is something that can easily change. Once you change your thoughts are energy, then you change whatever you experience in the physical realm as well. And that is what we want to do. We want to put something into our subconscious so that it can get pushed out, but you have to get into the state of already having it, or if it was a situation you already have experienced it, it is done. You can of course imagine being on that holiday, or you can be, oh, I'm so great that I was on that holiday, it felt amazing. But what you don't want to do is, if you want to have a relationship, oh, I'm so glad I had that relationship, because you don't want it to end, right? So let's talk about how scripting could look like. So let's start with an example of love and relationship. It could be something like, I am so happy being with my person. And it could be, or you could get into a scene, and you could, let's do different things. I am so happy being with my person. It feels so good when they hold me. They always smile at me. I love the way they, and when I say they, please insert the name, okay? Look at me. I am happier than I ever have been before. This is amazing. My person always tells me how much they love me. My person always tells me that they want to be with me for the rest of our lives. They always show me how much they love me. And remember the love languages. If your love language is gifting, you could say, I love all the little gifts they bring me, or I love how they always like to spend time with me, something like that. Another thing is, you could create a specific scene. You know, what scene can we take? Let me think for a second. Let's say you watch a movie together. My person is lying on the couch right behind me. Let's say your person is a guy. I can feel their arms, or his arms. I'm just going to make it male, okay? Around my body. He smells so good. I can feel his body pressed against my back. The lights are off and we are watching whatever it is, Netflix show on TV. We both love this show. Feeling him next to me is the best feeling in the world. He is slowly caressing my hair, and sometimes he gives me a little kiss on the back of my head. He loves pulling me closer. I can feel... Okay, this is not turning into a soft porn. No, don't worry. I can feel his breath right behind me. Something like that, okay? So, again, this is not supposed to turn into like a sex thing right now. It's just a situation where you imagine like I am with them right now. And when you read this, I mean, you can get into the state of... It's so easy to imagine this. You can do something completely else. You can create a scene where you're cooking together, you're being playful, or you, I don't know, like take a bath together, or you take a walk together. Whatever that scene is, it could also be celebrating your anniversary, but just make it a short scene. I mean, celebrating your anniversary, you wouldn't write down the entire day, just a short scene like you wake up right next to each other and your person says happy anniversary, and then they have some flowers, whatever it is. Make it a short scene, okay? Or it could be like a birthday, or it could be if you want to get engaged. Your short scene could be the moment your person asks you, which of course is just going to be a short question, you know. They probably don't talk for 5 minutes before they pop the questions. Whatever it is, it just has to be something that you write in present tense, and it has to feel realistic. And you can make that with any situation. I am sitting in my dream car. Insert the model. I have no idea about that. Gee, I don't know what to write again. That's not the best example for me, as I don't know anything about cars. What's good about being in a car? Except if you have good company. That would be the only thing that I would enjoy, like in a road trip. The radio is on, playing my favorite song, whatever that song is, playing. I am on the highway and there are hardly any people here. I can drive full speed. No, the window is open and I can feel the wind blowing through my hair. This is freedom. I love the fresh car smell. Okay, I don't have a lot to write about cars, but you just see it's a short scene that implies you already do this. And you can do that with anything, or you can do like I did here, like, oh, I'm so happy being with my person. So this is more general. So we can put it like more general. And here we have a specific scene. So this doesn't matter here. Of course, this would be more specific as well. We could make it more general, like, I love seeing my car in front of my house every time I look out of the window. It always feels good driving my car. You see, this is again more general. I mean, those are just 2 sentences, but you get the drift, you know. You can do it more general when you script, or you do a very specific scene. It doesn't really matter. Whatever is more comfortable for you. With any kind of manifestation, it is just the persistence and the constant repetition that is important. But both will get you into the state of the visual field. You know, this would be more, the general would be more like affirmations are, and this would be more like, you know, when you visualize something, you get right into a specific scene. Both work. Pick whatever is easier for you. I hope this helps. So there's one more thing. You saw some time has passed. I do have the sunlight in my face. I actually already ended recording for today, but I want to add another additional thing that's very important if you do scripting, because I said scripting can also be for people who like writing into diaries. So if you now know that when you write something down, it is literally manifesting, because you take a thought, something that does not exist in the physical realm, and you make it physical by putting it on a piece of paper. That is literally making something manifest. So if you do write diaries, please be aware that you give things more power when you write them down. So if you have been through some negative experience, please don't write it down. Write down the positive things. You know, one thing you could do is, and then I wouldn't say write it in a diary, if you want to get rid of something negative, like an experience, don't write it in your diary. Take a separate piece of paper, write it down, and add some sentences like, I release the situation. I am so glad that it is now positive. Or you can put it into the past. I remember it used to be like this. I remember when that thing happened to me a while back, but I'm glad that now positive things happen to me. You can use the I remember when method. Don't write it down when you still are in this agitated state. If you do that, write it down and then make some kind of ceremony of releasing that situation out of it by, I don't know, tearing it apart and intending on, I leave that behind now. I'm so glad that I'm happy now. Or you burn that paper. Please, of course, be aware of not burning down the house. Safety first. When I do like a little burning ritual, which is like hardly ever, I always have like, I do it in like a frying pan. Yeah, if you want to write something down that really agitated you, sometimes it can help to write it down. Yes. If you see writing down helps you, do that. But then don't do it in your journal, especially not if you go back to read that stuff. Because when you read it, you plant it back in and you want to get rid of stuff. So if writing helps you to get rid of stuff, write it down, burn it, tear it apart, make a ritual out of it. Tell to the universe, I leave this behind now. I release this. I'm so happy that I am in a good place now. I remember this used to happen, but now I am da 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 da. So when you write diaries, only write the positive stuff in there, the things you are grateful about. Especially I already said it, when you go back to read it, because if you go back to your diary and you read only the positive stuff, what will happen with your subconscious mind? It will think, oh yeah, remember that situation, oh that was awesome, and that situation was awesome. And your subconscious mind will believe, oh my God, only good stuff is happening to me, and I have a whole book of good stuff happening to me. Which means you recreate your self-image into the person that only good stuff happens to, or at least mostly good stuff happens to. And once this is part of your self-concept, you are the person that a lot of good stuff happens to, then guess what will happen? The universe sees like, oh, you're the person that good stuff happens to. Got it. We'll make sure that even more good stuff happens to you. Because whatever energy you have within, you will attract more of. So don't write about the bad stuff all the time and then go back and read it, and because then you are the person that a lot of bad stuff happens to, and that is the new order getting out to the universe. I like bad stuff happening to me, because according to the universe, everything you constantly put your focus on is an order, and the universe will deliver. So don't order negative stuff if you write diary. Please be aware of what you write down. Again, if you write stuff down in order to release it, make sure you state that as well. I release what happened to me today. And then you write it in past tense. You know, if you have a fight with your mom, you're not, oh, my mom and I will always argue. No, past tense. I had this fight with my mom. But you want to tell the universe, no more of that. I'm so glad we get along now. I'm so happy we get along now. Even if you don't get along in the situation, you still write something like this. I do have a video in, I don't know which playlist, but it's called something like One Word Can Change Everything. I had a client, she just did a little trick by changing one word, by thinking about something positive instead of negative, and it now actually manifested that instead of fighting, now this person is actually always kind to her. It was a neighbor she was always fighting with, and she always said my good neighbor instead of that evil person. And all of that sudden, for the first time, that neighbor, every time they meet, is actually nice, which is something that never happened. Anyway, that was my additional take on that video. please be aware of what you put to paper. And yeah, back to the main video now. Well, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, spread it, share it so other people can find my channel as well. Please check out my other playlists. It's very important. I have some amazing playlists out for you. If you want personal coaching, I am available. You can find my contact information below. If this video really helped you and you appreciate the effort and time I put into this and you want to tip me, my PayPal is below. I see you in another video now. Bye bye.